it, and it goes this way, that way, over the net.
It's amazingly one of the toughest things to get a kid to do is just relax in front of the goal. Well, it's called a sitter. It's sitting there. You should put it in.
Right.
And I mean, even pros miss them sometimes. But
the pros miss an incredibly high percentage of those shots. Good players miss an incredible high percentage of those shots, and I think it's because it's bang bang. Right? I mean, they're going to do it really quickly, so they
get it out.
They hit it a little harder, or they hit it whatever, a little higher. All right, let's talk about two things: the MLS draft. How do the Revs come out of that?
This year's draft, they had a really high, like a 24th pick or something. They took a keep, which they're going to need. Yep. But whether the kid's any good or not, I don't know. So I don't think they're going to get anything out of this year's draft because they picked so low, because they finished so high. But in the past,
is there going to be a lot of turnover between this year's team and next year's team? I know there's going to be some. There's
some minor turnover, but they've already made a couple of good signings. But the thing is, Matt Turner, the goalkeeper, was just Arsenal wants him. They just offered $10 million, so he's gone. But you kind of knew he was gone anyway. So I'm
goalkeeper
the kid they draft. Yeah, the kid they drafted is a keeper, but certainly he's not ready to step in yet. So I'm hoping that they already have knowing Arena. I think they probably already have a plan in place that there's somebody out there that they're gonna sign. I hope. Brad Knighton's a good backup, but he's not your everyday keeper. So
and that's aggravating. It's just aggravating as a New England Revolution fan that they get there, and then they're gone. Well, I know that happens in every other sport. Yeah. We understand that. But, boy, if you're trying to build the brand, and I know the brand is building itself. You know what I mean? It's getting the attendance. We were talking about that before. The attendance is going up every year. But, boy, if you really wanted to kickstart the attendance around here, you keep him. And you start building from the back. You know what I mean? But I understand. Money's money. And
right. Well, we're a seller's league.
Yeah.
Except for 5 leagues in the world, and maybe 4. Every league is a seller's league. Yeah. That is what it is. So, they signed him, guess as a free agent. I don't know what else you'd call him. He was never drafted.
Correct.
Right.
Undrafted free agent.
So then they're turning around and they're selling him for, $7 to $10 million at profit. That's it. They just drafted Tejan Buchanan, sold him for $9 million. It's crazy. The money that they're making. So that's the idea. That's how it's supposed to work.
It's a business.
Well, the whole thing is now they take the money and they put it back into the club. Is that what they'll do now?
Are they? Which they're
right.
not.
We don't know. We don't know. So
sorry, but we had to talk about that. That bothers me as a soccer fan. You put your.
Why didn't you mention that before when we were talking about things that bothered you as a soccer fan? Never mind.
That's different. That's different. Oh, by the way, we're talking about on the pitch, not in the office.
Is this thing with Vegas? Is this a case of the rich getting richer? Isn't there a partnership with somebody who's a?
It's not rich getting richer. They have a venue that's there.
Yep.
It's in a very high gambling, high attended sports area, and they're using. Is it Ashton Villa? Who's the co-owners of? Is it Aston or Ashton Villa? I always mix up.
It's Aston Villa.
It's Aston, right? I always think the H in there, but they're gonna combine with American owners.
Yep.
And put probably the 30th MLS soccer team in Vegas, which 100% makes sense. I think if there's ever a spot that needs one, it's Vegas.
Right.
And it's not the rich getting richer. That's just opportunity knocks more than anything.
Well, Man City, one of the richest clubs in the world, owns New York City FC.
Right.
Who just won the title. And then you got Red Bull that owns teams all over the world.
Yep.
Okay.
Australia, Austria, Germany.
Mm-hmm. So they're all. I didn't realize that they were all owned by the same ownership group.
Yeah, like it's Red Bull Salzburg, Red Bull Leipzig.
I just thought that they had a.
That was a sponsor.
Yeah,
I thought that was just a sponsor. Right? Yeah. No.
Yeah, they're all owned by Red Bull. So
and Vegas is a good place for a soccer team.
Weather-wise, I don't know about weather-wise, but they'll figure that out. It's going to be brutally hot all the time.
Yeah,
well,
not necessarily. Clearly be playing at night, but it's going to be tough. They'll just have to schedule them away in July and August or whatever, and and then they'll load up the home games in the spring and the fall.
Okay, and it's a good place for. I think it's proven to be a good place for professional sports.
It's also transitory. It's a transitory city. So when you're going to Vegas, what are we doing tonight? Let's go catch a soccer game. Then we'll go gamble.
Right.
Well, let's go gamble. Then go catch a soccer game.
Right. Yeah. People are there to be entertained.
And they're going to bet on it.
It's an entertainment project. Yeah.
And they're going to bet on it.
Yeah.
It's just another thing for people to bet on out there.
Okay.
My worry is that if they've got that new beautiful, is it Alliance?
Yeah,
Stadium?
that's where I think they're going to put them.
Yeah, I'm not sure that'll work.
It's too big.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and there's plenty of room out there to make a stadium.
You're not going to. Oh, that's true.
So it's not like it's going to be trouble getting land to do that. So we'll see what happens.
I agree with Coach. You don't want to go to a stadium that holds 78,000 and see 15,000 people in the stands.
Right.
Like the Revolution has 18,000.
Are you just agreeing with him because he's a coach?
No, I disagreed with him on several occasions today. I just can't remember.
Yeah, neither. Yeah, exactly. Well, tell him your favorite bands, and you probably will start an argument.
Oh, jeez.
Unless it's Springsteen, and then we're fine. All right, that's it for this episode of Soccerheads New England. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, Paul Nardizzi will be back. As you know, as I mentioned, we're sorry that we missed him for this show, but he's afraid of Coach Crowell. I don't know why.
No.
Play for you. No. Yeah, when he was.
I'm not really Coach's age.
Yeah. You think did Paul play for you? Yeah, Dave was 6 when he started his coaching career.
You never know. Paul's a shifty guy.
He was in the
He's been drunk his whole life. He probably played it. What was does the audience know your relationship with Paul?
They're both soccerheads. But
they
they've got
know
this,
each other somehow. I want to know where
through Rattigan.
Oh,
yeah, they know. Yeah, and I thought that they'd be fast friends, but it turns out that there's some weird soccer rivalry between them, in which, as we talked about last week, we cut it out, didn't you? About the part about how when they're in the same room together, the storm clouds gather, and they would.
That might have got cut out for some reason.
Yeah,
I think,
as Paul will attest, none of that's true.
I think Paul suffers from soccer envy.
That's it for this episode of Soccerheads New England. We'll be back next week. We'd like to thank financial advisor Rick Spencer. We want to remind you to hire the Soccerheads Experience. Our email is, what is our email? soccerheadsnewengland@gmail.com. For Paul, well, not for Paul Nardizzi, for Jim Ruberti, I'm Dave Rattigan, and our guest, Coach Dave Crowell, and our engineer, whatever his name is,
today,
Dale Lawrence. And this has been Soccerheads New England.